One sec. Okay, it's loading.
Should add more light over here.
Should I keep
I look a little dark.
Am I supposed to make it so I'm on the main thing while I'm looking at you, or no?
You're perfect.
I'm in the little box. Is that how it's supposed to be?
Whenever you speak, you go in the big box.
Okay. Well, I'm not. Okay.
It shifts and moves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everybody. We are now live, and we are live with Ellen Pellegrino and Jodi Serota. Jodi Serota is an amazing intuitive oh my God, I can't speak.
I got you, baby. She's my buddy, my girlfriend, the love I adore, the sister girlfriend. This is Elle, Age of New Beginnings, along with Carla, and we are bringing to you Jodi Serota, who is an incredible, iconic spiritualist that had the Meta Center in Manhattan. When you think of spirituality, this woman is the gamut. She is phenomenal. And it's like I could just mention her name and I can just feel infinite chills, which I'm sure you're going to too. So you'll experience her artwork, and all the dimensional things that she does to help others raise their vibration and have a beautiful quality of life. Hi, Jodi. We love you.
Oh, my turn. Hi, thank you for that introduction. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me be on the show. Hi, everyone. I just want to say I hope that you're all feeling okay and staying well and safe. And hopefully today, whatever I'm going to be doing will help all of you in some way, or entice some kind of, or inspire something to shift within you to move forward with everything that's going on with ease and at peace. So, well, Ellen and Carla had put this together to it has a sort of a 22 days of transformation and healing. So my work is I'm a conscious channel, and I work individually with the Akashic record readings for people, the records of their soul's existence through all time, space, and dimensions, helping people to move forward in their lives so that they can know their gifts and know anything that needs to be understood or unraveled in terms of working with other lifetimes and other dimensions, things that you might have energetic charges that your life is still being lived through that need to be shifted or changed in order to let go of that karma. So one of the things I want to talk about, I'm a sound healer. You'll hear me do some of the work with the sound, and also I work with light languages that activate your codes of consciousness. And I'm an artist, my background is painting. So I combine all these things with visual vibration, audible and kinesthetic vibration. And it's a way for ways to activate your consciousness for whatever way you need it and whichever form you need it for, visually, audible, or just feeling things. So a lot of my work is to awaken your ability to go through the gateway of the multidimensional heart. So a lot of the work is about the all-inclusive frequency of love, and the open heart is the key to really feeling your connection to yourself, to everyone else, all of consciousness, and also to God, which is what we're all made out of pure love, no conditions. So I'm going to say a prayer first. I'm also going to show you some of my art as well. I do certain kinds of art. I'm a painter. I work abstractly with color and imagery, texture, and light. And I've incorporated that into healing and transformation and consciousness raising. But I also work with creating codes with the light languages, or just how I work with paintings for visual vibration for different purposes. So I have a few things I'll show you as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a prayer. This prayer is something that was passed down to me years ago through someone else who was channeling, who was Archangel Michael coming through. I've added to it as I've gone along just to have it more all-inclusive for everyone. Part of it is from the Kabbalah. So what it does is it connects you to the angelic realms, and the archangels and the legions of them, but it also helps to clear your space and the space, anyone's space in your space, and your personal as well as environmental space. So, so I'm just going to go into that space for a moment just to connect and have everybody also go into a different kind of space while we're working together. Ate malkuth vegevora vegedula le'olam amen. I hereby banish from my space and all of your spaces, inwardly and out, all energies which are not appropriate, all psychic jamming, all negative emotional energies and memories which are not appropriate. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Ate malkuth vegevora vegedula le'olam amen. The atmosphere around us and through us is cleansed and purified and infused with love. The atmosphere around us and through us is cleansed and purified and infused with love. The atmosphere around us and through us is cleansed and purified and infused with love. And I choose to be a pure, clear, open channel of God's wisdom, love, healing, and light, bringing through the highest vibration to assist all of you, to assist yourselves in moving forward with ease and grace and clarity and empowerment, full expression of self, and peace. So just take a few deep breaths, and as you breathe, and just expand your heart for a moment, as if there's a pinpoint of golden light in the higher heart, wherever that feels like it might be, and just breathe into that. I'm just going to go into a little bit of my own meditation, but this is for you to expand your own heart energy and emanate like a lighthouse, that you're emanating. You don't disconnect. It's as if you're a beacon of light or a lighthouse where you don't unplug, you just emanate front to back, sides, up and down, and all around. And just imagine at least 3 to 6 feet wide that your energy of your heart is starting to expand. By using your breath, as if you're expanding your whole rib cage and opening your lungs and filling them with love and air. I'm just going to go into a different space for a moment, but I'll still be speaking in the way that I was, but my guides will be guiding me. I'm going to start with some sound first. And these sounds they'll tell you what they'll do after. I'm not telling them what we're doing yet. So this is just going to start to open you up and get you ready to just receive, because I'm going to be going in and out of telling you different things, maybe about what's going on the planet on a higher level, and just ways to activate your consciousness and your consciousness codes, as well as possibly helping to clear some of the karma. And I'll explain to you why that needs to happen now at this time of ascension on the planet, and what that means. So for the moment, I'm just going to start with some sound. Ishala lekita la malakusar, iskisar elekul eleki elakar, echana shilach lekita le. We speak to your hearts and we speak to your souls. Assalam aleki lakarekita rakiri. To awaken you more, to expand your channel, to expand your whole being, as if your body is your home for your soul to live in and express through. But this is a time period for you now to be able to awaken more of your codes of your consciousness, your gifts, your mission to be on this planet at this time when all these shifts are taking place. It's something that has been, in a sense, prophesied, that there would be a particular time period on the planet, on Earth. And you have come into this planet to be on this planet at this time. So many are dying through this virus that's taking place right now. But those are the beings that have made a contract to be here as we come in at a certain time and we leave. They're having an effect on those that are staying and as they leave. But they're also possibly needing to move to another dimension in order to be able to assist possibly from that side, but also to have an effect by leaving now on the ones that are here. But it's all for the purpose of awakening consciousness, which is affecting all of us, whether we're in the earth, on the earth, or beyond the earth. So we're being affected and effective. And this is a time of taking more responsibility, the ability to respond to the higher conscious choice that you made to come into this lifetime, to be on the planet at this time. Only particular souls have chosen to be here. It's not the easiest time to be here, but it's an important time because it's an opportunity for consciousness on a grander scale, not just on this earth, but beyond and beyond the beyond too, and the star systems, the planets, and beyond the beyond, to be able to awaken to a way for all of us collectively to awaken to a much higher level of consciousness and to feel the connection of everyone and everything, and know that we are all affecting each other. So as you work on yourself, any little thing that you shift in you for your highest good is affecting the greater whole. So take a few deep breaths. And as you breathe, allow yourself to really feel that heart opening. Because as humans, anything that happens that feels uncomfortable, typically you would close parts of your heart. This is about reopening everything and allowing yourself to be in this higher level consciousness where you're connected to everything as source or God comes through and expresses itself through you. That awakens in your cellular, molecular configuration to come into a sense of conscious higher knowing, living life consciously from a higher conscious perspective. So take a few deep breaths. So this is a time right now on the planet where it's a 26,000 year cycle, the ascension time. We've done this 3 other times. This is the 4th time. We've never really made it. Through power issues, we've blown ourselves up and all sorts of things. So this is another opportunity. So we're here, some of us have been here before, but we have collectively, individually and collectively, there's a part of our consciousness that knows that we never made it. We've gone past the point where we've made it before. So we're in sort of, we feel like we're in uncharted territory. So it feels uncomfortable at times, and it feels like you're meant to be here at times. So it's a combination of like, am I meant to be here? Am I going to die with everyone else? Or am I supposed to be here? What's going on? So in the ascension process, just to explain this, the ascension process, there's usually where you die to go to the higher, to another realm. And then on the other side, you kind of get a bigger view of what you were here for and what you needed to learn and to evolve through. And if you didn't get it here. But this is for those that are still here, there's a death process involved, but it's not the physical death that has to happen for the ones that are staying. It's the death of the identification with the karmic energetic charges that we've lived through and identified with. So when you start to lose your perception of the illusion of what you identified with, it can feel like a death. It can feel like something is being taken away and there's nothing to grasp onto. So this is a time period to let go of that karma, to let go of that, but it's really the identification with things that have happened in past where you've had to overcompensate to continue on. And that energetic charge is still there, and it's like a lens that you're living through that you thought was the truth, but you'll find out a lot of that, not all, but is an illusion. So we're moving from illusion to truth during this time, but we're also moving from survival energy to living and thriving. Interestingly, though, while we're trying to come out of survival, we're in a time period right now where everything has been created in a way for us to feel like we're going into survival because there's a disease or a virus that's causing a death could be fatal. So it's sort of like living to hopefully maintain ourselves to live through this rather than die. So at the same time, we're having an opportunity to clarify the truth of who we are and have the death of the karmic experience so that we can move forward in a higher level and affect a greater whole. Just from shifting something within ourselves, it has an effect that exponentially goes through all of consciousness. Again, not only on the earth, but beyond the earth. So take a few deep breaths. And as you breathe, start to just continue to maintain your heart being open. That's it. So that's just to continue. So you stay focused on an expansion of your energy in all directions so that you can open this heart, the heart energy, which is love. And love energy is, it's not anything with conditions. And if it's like having one tone or another, they're two different tones, it's not the same thing. But a lot of people have been taught that anything even with conditions was love just because somebody was around. It doesn't, it's not, that's not the truth. So it's an all-inclusive frequency that we're all trying to come together with that within ourselves and within all of consciousness so that we can have a collaborative experience here. So we can also know that everything that that affects ourselves or that we deal with within ourselves is also affecting everyone else. And everything outside of us is a mirror for us to look at within ourselves of how we're contributing or similar in a certain way. So if you're feeling angry all the time, you might find yourself around a lot of people who are angry. Or fearful, you might find the same. Or happy, you might find that you're feeling good because, not because of them, but everyone has an effect upon each other. And we're all interconnected. There's no separation. And a lot of people feel alone. Some people, with the work that I do in their readings, a lot of it is as they're coming into more of their connection with their source connection, God connection, I'll call it God. Then a lot of times people feel connected to God, but alone in their connection. So it's like lonely at the top. So but it doesn't have to feel like that if you're really feeling your connection to yourself, and this will help you through. The open heart is the key to that. So take a few deep breaths. So this is a time of what my guides have been telling me to talk about. I've talked about this before in some of these other Zoom calls, but it's good to keep reminding people, and for people who haven't heard, that it's like a grand initiation. In the past, in other times in history, people like Buddha or Christ or all the masters, they had to go through initiations, spiritual initiations, to be able to awaken to the higher levels of their consciousness. It's kind of like going through little trials and tribulations to recognize within yourself how much you really know, your gifts, and to awaken to those gifts and utilize that and express that, and coming into, again, the truth rather than the illusion. So this is like a really huge, grand initiation. We all have gone through initiations in other lifetimes. Some of us are more aware of that than others. And but this is an opportunity during this time period for major shifts in consciousness to happen. Major shifts, not just in your own consciousness. This is a time also where you'll awaken, your sensory perceptions will be heightened. You'll start to feel like you're starting to be more aware, more intuitive, kind of knowing things or saying things. The synchronicities are coming more tangibly now. So it's a time of, again, I'll call it a grand initiation. It's an initiation individually, so we can really go through that thing that I was talking about before, about letting go of the identification with the things that were about survival, just to get through things and to get through life experiences. So I'm going to do some work a little bit later to help to clear some of the, as a collective, but it will work on you individually. Some energetic charges that have to do with karma, helping to transmute karma and working with the guides to do that. And so in those times, they had to go through to be aware of their wisdom and their mastery, to come into greater mastery. So this is really a time period where we have an opportunity to come into our own internal greater mastery, but in relation to everyone else, and respecting and acknowledging and inspiring each other, but acknowledging that in everyone else. We're all of the same. So the way to do that is to let go of some of these things. It's about letting go of what doesn't really work for you. Many of us know certain things that don't work for us on the higher, like a higher understanding of our whole being. But as humans, we have emotional bodies and we hold on to things longer, and it takes a little bit more time sometimes, or we don't really get to it, or we put it behind, so that we just kind of accept a lot of things that are working sort of, kind of, but not really. So this is a time period to kind of, the fact that we're actually having to stay inside and stay kind of separated from people, it's giving us time to be able to, if you use your time appropriately for some of this at least, to take time to just stay quiet and go inward and just feel and kind of review your life, kind of have a review to see what you have, what you want to keep, what you want to let go of, and what you want to add on. So that's a really important way of how you can come into this next level. But it's also the fear part is the lack of trust. So take a moment, close your eyes for a moment, and just imagine Mother Mary, Divine Mother Mary. Again, I'm not working from a religious point of view. I'm working from a spiritual point of view. So Divine Mother Mary, if you just call her and just say to her, I'm ready to receive whatever you can offer me to help me to trust in myself and to trust in the highest understanding of the Goddess consciousness of humanity. So as you breathe, feel her putting her hands sort of near your chest or on your chest to be able to infuse you with a blue energy. And this blue energy will calm out your system as you breathe it in and take it into your whole being through your heart, all the way down into your cells. It's also love that she's bringing through, but she's just infusing it with this blue energy, but it's for the purpose of trust. So it will help you to just relax into the trusting that you're being supported and nurtured by higher beings that know how to do this and have had to do, some of them had to do this in their own lifetimes. So it's a way for you to feel a sense of trust, but it's about calming out your system so you can get to that place of trust. And then in trust, you're calmer. The opposite of trust is fear. So take a few deep breaths. So just take some deep breaths. And as you breathe, just find yourselves relaxing and going deeper into yourselves. And imagine that as your heart is opening, that all this love is coming from you and through you as who you are, as a soul. And that all that energy is being infused, but not just thought of, but actually directed and sort of breathe it into any part of your body, your cells especially, but any part of your body. And also imagine that there's the membranes around the cells that feed the cells with the purest information. So imagine as you breathe and open your heart and feel that energy, pure love, it's love energy, and you're directing it into those areas or your organs or your cells or parts of your systems of your consciousness within you, that it's helping to heal, because as it is infused with love, it transmutes everything that isn't of the same frequency. Anything that's not of the same frequency can't be held in the state of love. In the experience of love. So that's another way to heal parts of your consciousness or body, and your mind and your spirit. Breathe that love also from your heart into your mind, as if you're not thinking it, you're actually lifting it up from your heart, but it stays in your heart and expands there too. It just connects and it expands into your brain. And just feel all the parts of your brain being ignited with this love energy. And it starts to balance out your brain chemistry and the connection of your brain that connects to the rest of your body. Una sando konyeng yongong wang yanga no no ma no Amiane mongo ne mongo nyingo mano mani mono mani mono mongi mano maningin mani mono maningin 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 mano mono mongo nyongo nyong. Manangin manangin maningin 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 mongo nyang 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 maningin mango. And take some deep breaths. Just so you know, these light languages, through me, the way that my guides tell me what they are, they came to me while I put my hands on an ancient crystal skull called Max, who I work with every year and have for like about 20 years already. It's owned by Joanne Parks, and she comes into New York, and I work with her with the skull. So when I put my hands on that, these light languages started coming through me, and I kind of said out loud, I know these languages, and I want to speak them now. Somebody else was doing that. And I couldn't believe I said that because somebody else was doing the healing. But so she said, okay. And I had my hands put on the skull with her. And I just started doing the same languages she was doing, and we back and forth and back and forth. And I was all dressed in black with dark hair. She had light hair, and she was wearing all white. And she was connected to the Pleiades. I was connected to Sirius, the star systems. And I channeled all this. I went into channel from the energy, and she only spoke the languages for a couple of years, but she didn't speak English. I mean, she spoke English, but not channeling English. So I channeled all this stuff of awakening some kind, and opened up something where I was creating a portal for the energy of Sirius and Sirius and the Pleiades to interconnect at that time for whatever the reasons were. I don't remember exactly at the time, but it was to help the consciousness of the planet. And but those languages had stayed with me, and I'd already been working with sound. And what these languages are through me is they're a connection to the earth plane before karmic patterning began, before karma began, because there weren't humans on the planet yet. They hadn't incarnated yet. So it's connected to the planet in relation to the star systems and all the other planets, the Earth and the star systems, the other planets, and beyond the beyond. So when you hear them, they awaken your codes of consciousness to remember who you really are in truth, and already are in truth, but also they help you to, it helps to awaken your codes, and it also helps you to remember yourself as a multidimensional being, that you came here as spirit into this as one incarnation out of many that you've come here for before that. So just take a few deep breaths. And if you're feeling anything, if you're feeling emotions, or if you're feeling anything in your body, just breathe into your body. Just breathe that love. Really, but don't think it. So right now, for the moment, just imagine you're breathing this energy from your heart into your brain again. And just take a deep breath and feel this energy. You might start to feel kind of tingly. You may not feel anything, but it's still there. and it can just kind of filter down into all these different parts. And if you have any kind of aches or pains or any kind of illnesses, or even if it's systemic, you can just breathe this energy of love into all those little cracks and crevices, into a molecular structure, awakening your human structure, Adam Kadmon structure, which is the formation of who we are in human experience. So as you breathe, just expand and open and start to feel a flow of your energy. And you may not have felt this flow for a long time in this way. So because the sounds have a really really strong effect with the information that they're saying. And there, my guides are all working with you at the same time. So the angels, now to imagine the angels and the archangels and the legions of them are surrounding us. I did that prayer at the beginning, and that brings all these angelic energies and archangelic energies, but the legions of them are coming in now for all of you, as if it's for all of us. And they're infusing us with their hearts simultaneously. Hundreds and thousands of these beings are infusing us into our hearts while we breathe of love. And then as you breathe out, you can instantly breathe out to all of them at the same time, because they're connected to us the same way we're connected to each other and connected to ourselves. The problem for most people is that they don't feel the full connection to themselves. And part of that is the idea that we came here like we met with our councils of light. Everyone has a sort of a board there that we can go and connect to, like a board of a company. It's your own personal councils of light that you met with before you came into this lifetime. And it was like, okay, let's see. So what's this going to be about on the earth this time I'm going there? And what's it going to, how am I going to work with this? And what are the things I'm going to come up against or be able to experience and feel exotic? Exotic? That was interesting. Exotic? That wasn't the word I meant to say. To feel ecstatic with all the energies. You might feel exotic when you came back into the earth. That would be fun. So keep that in mind for other parts of your experience here in your journey. But anyway, the idea that you came into the earth with going over before you got here, sort of the idea that you would be okay being on the planet at this time, this very specific time, which is, again, it's only the 4th time we've gone through this, but it's when the stargates are in a particular alignment with the planet. And in that alignment, it's a 26,000 year cycle, that there's all this energy, high frequency energy that's being infused directly into the planet. It's like there's a direct link, and everyone who's on the planet receives this more simultaneously. But there are people who are coming in, who are here now and coming in, that need to be here or chose to be here at this time to be part of the assistance in the transformation and transmutations of things, to shift back to truth rather than illusion, and to living fully rather than survival energy. So it's like we're in survival right now, in a sense, at the same time as we're trying to move through survival. So it's almost like, again, going back to what I was saying before, it's a grand initiation, not just for one person, but for all of us simultaneously as a collective. And we're being initiated, it's starting something new, being able to shift and start something new and make the appropriate changes that are needed, adjustments, we'll say, adjustments to refine, to get back to a higher level of your own consciousness in relation to everyone, and everyone in relation to you, and in relation to the greater whole, and all the beings in the earth, on the earth, and beyond the earth, and the earth herself. The earth is anchoring us with her gravity to help us to be maintained and manifest what we desire, including our consciousness. But the thing that I was about to say before is that we made a choice to come, and then as we came into an earthly existence and were born into this existence, we tend to, because of the density of this environment, when we're coming from spirit, it feels like you're kind of heavy down in a sense, and then not remembering everything that you chose to understand why you were here to begin with. And some of the people came into lifetimes with families that were not so easy. They were already going through initiations to remember something of what they came here for, like to inspire or to ignite what you need to come here to, like, work through, in a sense, personally. And then when you work through your personal purpose of all the things that you're working through and coming to a new level of consciousness about, you then you're able to do your outer purpose, which is to be of service in some way. So when you come to learn who you are and what your gifts are, you can then bring that out into the world. And everyone has some similar things and different, but we're all unique to ourselves. There's like a giant puzzle, and there's all these different pieces. And we try to sometimes be in the spot where somebody else should be. You know, it's when you're squishing a piece of puzzle into something that's not fitting, because it looks similar, but it's different. So you have to find your own space and know that you have your own space. And when everyone takes their rightful places, all the little lines that separate everything start to disappear, and you get to see yourself in the bigger picture, how you support being in this whole part of this to make that picture come true, to make that picture become alive. So every person on the planet, all of consciousness, it could be animals, it could be the plants, it could all these things, everything has a reason for being here. And everything, all those things, we're all part of a greater picture, and we have our rightful space to be in, that we become aware of how we make a difference by being in that, taking our rightful place. So for really like accepting who we are. But the problem that happens for many, that comes up in a lot of the readings I do, is that some people, as we've come in, a lot more than most, we're like, oh, okay, I'm here, but I'm not quite sure exactly why I'm here. And it's not the easiest thing to be involved in. So it's like 1 foot in and 1 foot out. It's like standing in the doorway of your home and you have one foot in and one foot out, but you can't really experience the fullness of either side of it because you're sort of locked in a place where you can't move. So one part is if you start to put your other foot in to this lifetime, a lot of people on some higher level or lower level within their consciousness as human feel like they're going to lose their connection to where they came from, or they feel like they're going to get so dense they're not going to remember anything. But the truth is, the more you get grounded and connect with the earth, which is part of the greater whole anyway, you then become more aware and connected to everything that exists. So, and then you can experience more here, and here hopefully to have joy and experience through the emotional body. There's no emotional body in the higher realms, but here you get to experience all different ranges of emotions. That's part of our consciousness going through these initiations, to be awakened to even recognize and to help others, whether we're here or on the other side, to understand and understand, like have compassion, because you get it. You understand what people are going through. You don't have to take on everybody's stuff, and you don't have to have gone through every single thing that everyone is going through, but it's a way of, again, opening our hearts to have compassion. And then speaking of compassion, take a few deep breaths for a moment. We're in the energy of the full moon. It's a Wesak full moon in Scorpio, and Wesak is the is the time of Buddha's birthday and also Buddha's enlightenment. And Buddha is all about compassion through love, so, and the open heart. And so that's what this, it's like an initiation, especially now, right at this exact time while we're speaking now, to really start to open our hearts and have compassion first for yourself, and to forgive all the things that you in yourself, of treating yourself in times where you yell at yourself, you don't feel like you're good enough. And it could be because things have been passed down through generations, things have been impressed upon you, things you've been through in other lifetimes that had an effect on you, where you doubt a lot of who you are and what you're here for, and have a sense of not being entitled or deserving. So we're here to have compassion, which is loving ourselves and really accepting who we are completely, and in that also accepting others. So Buddha, at his birthday, it's like coming in to be able to kind of re-experiencing the coming of Buddha into the planet, but also his enlightenment, and coming into human form, and then feeling and embodying and embracing and claiming his full sense of enlightenment. So we're in that energy right now, and it's a full moon, which full moons usually are for completions. New moons are for beginnings. So this can be a completion of a lot of our karmic right now, this time period, completing a lot of the karmic identifications that are not really the truth of who we are. They're just the overcompensating for having gone through suffering on some level. So it seems like a dichotomy because there's so much suffering on our planet, but it's as if what's been prophesied, that all these different structures, we're going to start to, that weren't really in alignment with the highest truths, we're going to start to fall to the sides. And if you look at all the things that are going on right now in the financial, financial part of our world, and the political part of the world, health systems, and the different systems, and the environment, and everything you can think of, really. There's a lot of things that are needing to be restructured. And also the dogma of religion and religious structures. So everything, it doesn't have to all go away completely, but it has to be restructured in some way. And that's what has been prophesied, and this is the time that it's happening. And in 2012, at the end of the Mayan calendar, was sort of the idea of when we would start to come into new levels or opportunities for new levels of consciousness. And my sense is it started way before that, but a lot of people had, the harmonic convergence, and then the harmonic concordance, and all this. This is all interconnected to the stars and astrological understandings and numerological kind of things. It's all interrelated and interconnected. And so we're all part of all of these things. And we're having, so this is really an amazing opportunity, even though it feels like what the heck are we all doing here? Like, what was I thinking? So I have friends that call me and they're like, I know we're all supposed to be aware of all these things and we're doing all this work, but what the heck were we thinking coming here at this time? They never told us it was going to be this hard. So, but the main thing is to know that if you weren't meant to be here and you aren't a high enough being to be able to tap back into what you already knew before, when you talk to your councils of light, if you can, the other thing too, you can tap into your going back, and so you don't have to go back in time, but you can call upon your councils of light that guided you before you even came here to be incarnate into this life at this time. So your councils of light, even if you've never talked to guides or anything, just kind of ask them to be there. They can work with you without you even understanding or knowing it. Just say, please, councils of light, take a moment right now. Let's just close our eyes and just together, so we can sort of support each other in that. We're just asking to be able to ask that our councils of light that knew what we were coming into and helped us to recognize that and helped us to make the choice if we wanted to come or not to be part of this. So we call upon our original councils of light that have been with us for eons of time, that have supported you, say me to yourself, that supported me, and also all of our collective, to be here at this time on the planet during these what we call tumultuous times, but it's also an opportunity, great opportunity for something to completely shift or change for each one of us individually, so we can have the fullness of joy and happiness and come back to that, or at least to recognize it's available for us. So we have to just get through this time period, but we're calling on our councils to say, like, what were we thinking? What were you thinking trying to get me to come back here? No, I'm kidding. Help me to remember why I chose to be here, because I know I have something to offer by being here. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. And this is to remember that you have, and to have compassion for yourself and even for those councils, rather than to be on the sidelines going like, well, what the heck were you talking about? So this is really about accepting your original higher conscious choice. And if you can accept, this is going back to when I was saying being half in and half out. If you can accept your higher conscious choice that you made before you incarnated to be on this planet at this time, in this body, then when you accept your higher conscious choice, all the choices that you make in your life while you're here, you'll be able to finally accept. But it's the doubting and all this kind of stuff, and not knowing what to make choices about, and not recognizing that. And you might not have had the support in your human life, in your physical life, where you have the encouragement of just being who you are. So many people have had situations where they weren't supported, and part of it is because the parents were not supported maybe in their experience, or their lineage, throughout the lineage and generations and ancestries. People might have been here incarnations through their lineage where there were war zones, or things that were about having to survive through things. So they pass this energy down even through the birthing process, that we have this in our collective consciousness. So as you shift something in you, you might be the conscious one in your family. Everyone else may get it or not. Doesn't really matter for you to have to worry about that. But as you focus on you, if everyone in the world just shifted one, even a very subtle thing that they're not in sync with in truth, then it will have an effect throughout the entire collective of all of us, that goes all the way beyond the beyond, and in the earth and beyond and beyond. So you make a difference whether you even know that you do or not. So so going back to Buddha, let's just call in Buddha, like, for a moment. Buddha is here on the planet, and when Buddha comes in at this time, he meets with other high masters, and in the Himalayas, and in the mountains there, and he meets with other beings of high. They all kind of go together. They meet there energetically, but even if you were there, some say they actually see them manifest there, and the work is really about compassion and love and enlightenment. And Buddha's thing now for the Wesak is to celebrate the existence of and the birth of Buddha and also the enlightenment of Buddha, because it represents that within all of us as spirit and in human form, that we can become more enlightened. We can remember who we already are. Everything that Buddha knows, like make a choice that everything that all these higher beings already have embodied and then take and are with them even when they're not in body, that we have something within us that is exactly the same. They just have come into it and acknowledged and recognized it and embodied it more. And so in the presence of the energy of Buddha, let's just call in Buddha's energy for a moment. Assalamu alaikum, salalelo ko lalelo taru mangwatele lola kolato anyongo shanda de goda daji jamadaga do shanani monagando kotongo dai shogoda bedeji shangdeji shanche chonje ravale kunda do ko shada de do gamba. Just open to receive the support energetically of the Buddha energy. And as you breathe, feel as if Buddha is wrapping his energy around you. And as you breathe, feel it more around your back and around the back of your neck and around your whole being, as if you're being hugged by the frequency of compassion. And as you breathe, as if you could feel the frequency moving around you, and then ask to have that energy, not that he comes into you, but the energy is infused into you to awaken compassion for yourself and compassion for all those that you may not feel that for whatever reasons, and also compassion for the earth and compassion for all of your lineage, all that maybe even though things have been passed down, but everything that you've been through has gotten you to where you are now. So accepting and part of the Christed consciousness of healing. Imagine in the back of your heart, because Buddha and Christ are meeting together. So in the back of your heart, have Mary at the front of your heart with all this blue, trusting energy. Have the energy of Christ at the back of your heart with this golden frequency. And the frequency of the Christed healing, through what they tell me, is forgiveness. So you're forgiving yourself, forgiving others, asking others, this is through all time, space, and dimensions, others to forgive you and to forgive themselves. And through the forgiveness, this is for you to move forward. It doesn't matter what they're deciding to do with this, but it's for you to move forward, so you let go of the ties that hold you back. And then there's the forgiveness, and it's the acceptance, accepting all that happened for the highest level to get you to where you are today in your consciousness. And then, so it's forgiveness, acceptance, and then recognition, recognizing everyone as parts of all of the whole, of how everything works together. Everything's connected to everything else. So everyone has an effect on everyone else as part of their ability to ignite or inspire or trigger things sometimes to awaken. So the Christed energy of gold is through your back. The Mary Divine Mother energy is in the front for trust with blue energy. And then the energy of Buddha coming around your whole being, as if he's just holding you in this huge amount of incredible love energy. It's like an etheric energy that's just moving around the back, the front, the sides, underneath you, through you at the same time, working together in harmony and balance and alignment with the Christed frequency and the frequency of Mary. And it's a trinity now. Activating your own inner masculine and feminine, the true soulmates of your own being. And if they're not in your body, surviving through not feeling or trying to push with your with your will to make things happen. We're not going to get too far into that, but to just imagine that you're calling in your masculine and feminine into your heart to have the balance of your inner masculine and feminine. Everyone has the masculine and feminine. The feminine is your intuitive energy. She knows from feeling, by not doing, just by being. She can feel what she wants, what she desires, and how to go about doing it. So she's the creative energy, the intuitive energy, the ability to be, to know by feeling. She's the receiver and the part of you that is the ability to receive. She can receive and be received. The masculine is logical, practical, intellectual. This is the parts of you. And it's the part that is the doer, that puts things into motion. So he gets the direction from the feminine within you that says, this is what I have passion for. This is what I desire. This is what I want. This is how to go about doing it. Your masculine energy, you take it out. You see what you know how to do in a tangible way. Manifest what this is. Here's all the details. This is what it is, how to go about doing it. Bring it out into the world, make it happen, bring it back. He creates it, and then he gives it to her and she receives from him, and it's a full circle through the heart. So take a few deep breaths. And just breathe into that part of your body, of your heart, and see and feel, visualize, image if you can, your masculine and feminine as if they come back into your body more fully now. And they see into each other's eyes in a sense. It's like looking into a human's eyes. And you see deep into someone's soul and they realize they're the same soul. They're part of the same soul. They are true mates of the same soul. They do two different things. They don't compete with each other. They together work together in collaboration as one. And in that, they have a relationship with a partnership, which when you have this within you, it'll help you to collaborate or have relationships, personal relationships, intimate relationships, friendships, family, colleagues, everything, world relationships. So it's interwoven. And you become greater than the sum of the parts. It's like having a band and everyone in the band plays a different instrument and sings or whatever. And then when they come together, it becomes a whole different thing. But everything is equally as just important. But everything, they don't have to do what the other one does. So there's no competition. It's total collaboration, which is what we're needing to come into on this earth, in order to recognize that everybody has their individual puzzle piece, like I was talking about earlier. And it's not to do what other people are doing or try to be what other people are. It's unique. Everyone's unique to themselves. So take a few deep breaths. So just breathe, just take some deep breaths. So this is really an opportunity, even though it feels really kind of uncomfortable right now. It's unusual too, that it's not unusual, it's just interesting that as we're being told to separate from everyone else, it almost brings us more together, because through separation seems odd, but somehow this is actually gathering people to have, to pay attention to the rights that we have, or to be able to call people they haven't called in a long time because maybe they wouldn't before, because kind of felt funny out of the way, sort of having not talked to someone for a long time, and think about people you haven't talked to in possibly years, and just calling just to say, are you okay? I just was thinking about you, wanted to connect. It's bringing people back together. So it's coagulating us in a way that in our own consciousness through compassion, we're starting to reconnect, and we're yearning to sort of be connected rather than having to hold ourselves apart, so that we can start to feel support of each other. And you see how people are gathering at different times to here in New York at 7 o'clock, people are banging, clanking things out of their windows and clapping for all the people that are in the front lines trying to help everyone and being supportive, even though it's possibly life-threatening. So everyone is doing what they're meant to do. We all have our own inner and outer purposes. The greater purpose is to be of service, but not just to yourself, but to the greater whole, but to be of service first to yourself, to come into the truth of who you are and to be ignited and awakened through, it's like going through your Akashic records and finding, that's the work that I do individually with people, to ask to be able to be seeing to have the records be shown of what you need to know right now that would help you to move forward and to really recognize and feel the embodiment of your gifts. And and that's done with also the sounds, like they're interweaving sound here when they're talking to you. So one of the things I also do is I do work with healing and activating consciousness through my art. So I'm just going to show you a few things. I don't know if you can see behind me, there's a painting I did many years ago, but that is actually, if you can really see it, but that's a painting on canvas with acrylics and mixed media. That's actually for healing. So as you look at it, it's the vibrational frequency of the color, imagery, texture, and light that it infuses you, and it has an effect on you from a visual vibration. So I'm going to show you a few other things with light language as well, and some codes that will activate your consciousness. So this one is for the Christed healing. They were just talking about that, the unification of all races on the planet and the races beyond the planet. There's all different races also on the other side there that are in the beyond that are there to help us. And so this is vibrational light language. And I think you can see it maybe. So I usually write from left to right for some reason, kind of like Hebrew, but so as you look at this and just take it in, it will activate that Christed healing in yourself. Again, it's forgiveness, acceptance, and recognition, and it will help to heal illnesses and dis-ease and things of your of nature that are not in alignment with truth, and the unification of all the races on the planet and beyond. So it helps you to have that compassion and love for yourself first in relation to everything else. I don't know if you can really see it like that. So, and then this is a painting I did actually the other day. And this is activating and downloading your higher codes of your consciousness. And this is actually a painting. I don't know if it's better to see it this way. I don't know if that helps. There's actually light language in there. So I usually do regular painting, like abstract paintings, but I've sort of been using the codes of the light language to be inside there. And then, let's see. This is a larger one. This one, I'll just read what it's for. This is for the integration of healing and regeneration of your cells to original divine forms. It's really good for healing anything that's going on with you. And also for redefining your thought forms for higher thinking in co-creation with the heart. So your brain, your thoughts go connected to the heart. So the heart and the brain and the thought forms are in alignment instead of separating from each other. This is a bigger thing. I'll just show you the bigger picture for the moment. This is all light language. And then if I come closer, I don't know if you can see it. Try to help you to see what this is. It kind of, you can see that everything is light language. It's actually in the shape of a pyramidic shape. And the pyramid is, in sacred geometry, how energy moves through a form, is for, it's for initiations and for integration. So we're talking about that right now. We're kind of going through a grand initiation. So it's initiating change. And it's, so if you, an integration. So if you want to feel everything we're doing today, or anytime when you're feeling out of sorts, imagine a pyramid, not just a triangle, but an actual pyramid shape. It doesn't have to have walls. And just imagine that pyramid around your whole body, including under your feet. So it actually helps you to integrate everything we're doing now, but also just things that you're overwhelmed about, just to integrate all parts of your consciousness and all the things that are going on in your life. And then as you find yourself in this pyramidic shape, it's in sacred geometry, it's how energy moves through different shapes. So this is for integration and helping you to initiate the changes that are necessary for your soul to make, to be able to come into these higher levels of who you are, and to help you to, and why do we want to do that? It helps us to be more solid in our lives and more structured in a way that helps us, even if you go out of the box, if you're someone a little bit more unusual and creative and that kind of thing, but it helps us to have a structure of who we are in relation to everything. And it helps us to accomplish more. So this is an amazing time. I know it feels so uncomfortable and kind of weird at times and frightening, but if you can just keep reminding yourself and call upon your own higher self, which is connected to everything in the highest levels of who you are. The lower self is the part that gets scared. So it's the higher self knows you're going to be fine no matter what happens. So, and just hope for the best. No, I'm kidding. And just pray a lot. But praying also, when you pray for yourself, you pray for all of consciousness, you pray for the world, you pray for the leaders of countries to be in alignment with the highest good, without starting to go into all the stuff that you could about why they're not doing what you would like them to be doing. All these kinds of things, your family, your parents, all the stuff. I find parents only knew that I could have been blah, blah, blah. It's all about just holding that space of compassion for everyone. Because we're in third dimensional reality, but we're trying to get to fifth dimension reality, at least for now. Fifth is where it's the open heart. So it's hard. We're still going through being open and then closing down, and open and closing down. So there's the fourth dimension in between. And the fourth dimension, from what my guides tell me, is it's really about the polarities of patterns. So if you have like a seesaw, like one time you're down here, the next, and someone's up here, then it's the other direction. So it's like having two sides of a coin, and it makes up the same coin. So they have to be accepted from both sides in order to have the whole coin or the whole being move to the higher level of consciousness. Because if you're half here and half there, you can't get half up, and it doesn't work. So if you open your heart, this is how you move through these polarities, whatever you're dealing with other people, with yourself, to open your heart and keep expanding all this love energy. And as you do that, it's like holding the space of both sides of the pattern from a place of true compassion. And let's do that right now. If something you're dealing with that you keep going back and forth with and you can't seem to get off of it because you're holding on to it so much, because it's about letting go of what doesn't really work. So like close your eyes for a moment and imagine something that you're dealing with that's just like keeps pulling you in one direction or the other, and open your heart and feel like you're kind of embracing both sides and saying to those parts of the parts of your own consciousness that can't seem to get off of this pattern. It could even be an addiction or an illness or something. So it's just like holding, I'm going to be well, I'm not going to be well. What if I can't, all these kinds of things. I'm able to do this, I'm not able to do this. I can't deal with this person. Yes, I love this person. All these kinds of things. So hold this energy of love, of compassion for both sides of the pattern. And then as you do this, it's like those sides are being infused as almost as one. And then you can lift that up and hold your heart open, as if you could take this whole energy of polarities and bring it into your heart. And hold your heart so wide open, infusing so much love for both and compassion for both sides, that it just takes you into much higher frequency. And you might not always be able to hold it, because the sixth dimension is when we can maintain our heart opening. But if it happens, you just keep reminding yourself and doing this. It's a tool you can use, that they're telling me right now of what you can use. So that's another thing that you can do to help you to get through stuff. I'm going to just show you a couple more little things that I have here. Wait 1 second. So this is a code I made from a while ago. This is for interconnective intelligence. And what that means is interconnecting to your own intelligence, your own gifts, your own awareness of who you are, but also interconnecting to know that you also can be part of, and you are part of the higher intelligence of all beings in the earth, and beyond the beyond, on the other planets. A lot of people are connected to different star systems that they've spent time in, to connect back to the wisdom and the mastery of what we knew then. And on all different levels, whether it's the mastery of wisdom, whether it's the mastery of creation, the mastery of the arts, of gifts like that, of creative arts, the ability to know about science and the meta sciences and the mathematics and all the things of how everything is interrelated. So this is a code for, again, interconnective intelligence. I don't know if you can see that. I have some, there's some metallic kind of energies in there as well. It's all light language, this. So just breathe that in. And this is for, I also did this a while ago. This is for the alignment of spirit and heart. And again, it's all light language. It's a little one, but it has a lot of stuff in there. Oops. So just breathe that in. So I do a lot of regular paintings, and I do light language, just writing it, and then I interweave things, and I just try to be as creative as I want to be. So just to ignite everything and use it for intentions to assist people just by the visual vibration. Sometimes I do concerts where I project my art really large while you're infused with it on big screens, and then you feel, then I start to do sounds that are related to the art and then also the audience. So it brings all of that together. It's you connecting to the energies of you as well as the paintings. And then I bring in light languages, and then I bring in regular other sounds, and then channeled guidance. And so it's a combination of all the different things I do, because more and more things came through me over the years, and I just kept saying to my guides, I don't want to just do this and not do my art. So how can I interconnect it? What am I supposed to do? And they started telling me to do it for different purposes, and they would guide it through me. So, so all of these things are part of what I've come into through my consciousness. And I went through major shifts many years ago. I came in kind of open to begin with, but when I was younger, I hardly ever spoke. I listened a lot and observed a lot, which helps me now in how I can tune into things. But that was not from this lifetime. That was because a lot of people have this from being so open and expressive about who you are in your awareness to be able to know things through intuition. A lot of us were tortured or killed or just didn't have, or separated from people because of all the things that they didn't understand. So there's a lot of people, like in the olden times, in the times of the past, of the lifetimes, where there were a lot of mystery schools, but they were occult teachings where people were told occult means hidden. So it was only allowed to be talked about within either the families or the groups that they were doing this work with. So, so it kept people in a separation, in a sense, in relation to understanding multidimensional understandings of consciousness. So a lot of people also were in monastic lives, and they had to take vows that in order to stay connected to God, they had to have nothing, they had to not take certain things in their lives that other people can have. They can just maintain their connection if they're just sitting and chanting, or if they were a nun or a priest. They have all these vows that, so a lot of times I work with clearing the monastic vows, because it keeps people from even receiving money for spiritual work, or being able to have relationships because they had to just have a relationship with God. But they weren't allowed to have a relationship with a person, or they couldn't go direct to God except it was through maybe the priests or these things like that. And or they were even had, some people fasted for God. If you fast, you'll be connected to God. So a lot of people have eating disorders because they're not able to align with just eating and feeling okay. They don't know why, but it's all interwoven into a lot of these monastic vows from other times. So just kind of getting back to, just to complete some things here, the whole idea of these were the 22 days of transformation and healing. So hopefully I gave you something to think about, maybe some things that we work through a bit, and also the energies and the guides are still going to be with you for the next, they're saying 11 days. I don't know what day we're on with this. What day is, how many days has it been since you've been doing this?
I believe it is 11 days.
Oh, cool. So, so for the next 11 days, they're saying 11 is a master number, and 22 is double 11. So that's even more of a master number. And then 22 is a 4, if you add them across in numerology. 4 is about foundations. We were talking about the structures changing. These foundations, so we come into newer foundations to align with the foundations within us and the foundations in relation to the earth and all of everything that exists in this incarnation and beyond. But everything is changing. So when people say, I just want to get back to normal, the normal has already changed. We're never going to be back to the way it always was. And hopefully it's going to be better. So look at from a point of view that we can come into a whole new level of that, and we can have more freedom, even though right now it feels a little uncomfortable. So, and try to really clarify for yourself what feels right and what doesn't. I mean, there's a lot of rules and regulations coming out that may not be the highest level for everyone. So I'm not going to go into that, but you might want to just check that out and see what's on the internet. Some of it's a little frightening about a little bit of power things behind the scenes, but just, start to familiarize yourself with things so that you can become more aware of just even how you feel, to know what, even in day-to-day existence, what feels right to you and what doesn't really feel so good. And you feel that kind of weird feeling like, I know this isn't exactly right, but I don't want to let go of it because of whatever you feel that has to do with. So some of that is karma. Some of that is just fear, which is part of karma. And some of it is because in a lot of lifetimes we had to be servants, where we'd actually been there to assist people, but at the expense of ourselves. So a lot of people give a lot and then they don't receive first for themselves. And you really have to take care of you first. It's a responsibility to come into a higher level of consciousness, the ability to respond to the choices that you're making, and to really, the more conscious you become, the more you have to become more and more responsible to keeping your own body clear, so that you can then, as your instrument or your home to live in and to express through. So it's what you eat, how you deal with your life, what you do in your life, how you respond to yourself and other people. There's so much we have to be involved in, but it kind of comes with the mechanism. It's already in our consciousness. It's like, you get a certain kind of, I don't know what, like a clock or something. And once you wind it up or plug it in or whatever, or put a battery in, it kind of knows what to do. It's already set up that way. So for us to be able to know that we're already set up for exactly what we came here to be part of. And so to help, this is really about remembering who we already are. It's not about blaming ourselves, shaming ourselves, guilting ourselves, and that can be cleared. So going back to the full moon is right now you might feel a little wobbly with your emotions, because the moon represents the emotions, and it also, in the full moon, it's lit up. So you have light kind of showing you what you've kept in the dark to yourself. And then it's because it's the Buddha moon. I mean, it's a full moon, but it's in Scorpio. Scorpio is about death and rebirth. It goes to the deepest levels. You can sort of sit and wallow in that whole thing, but you need to just rise like the phoenix and bring yourself up and not sit in all the gunky stuff, and rise and sort of become like the phoenix that comes beyond that. So you don't have, I'm a Scorpio actually, so I know this death and rebirth kind of stuff constantly. So, but it's not the easiest thing, but it goes to deep places, and everybody has, it's affecting everyone, even if you're not a Scorpio. So, and you have different things in your chart. So know that that's happening right now, and you're going to feel the energy of that for a while. And but it's all moving us into the compassion, the Buddha energy, which brings us into enlightenment. And that's what this Wesak moon is about today. I think it was last night, but it's still part of the energy. And what else? I think that's about it for now. That's enough. So just take a deep breath for a moment. Let's just end this for a moment with the idea that let's focus for a moment and just hold your eyes closed. Open your heart. We'll just do this for a moment. And imagine that we're all standing, of every person on the entire earth is standing, holding hands in the circle. And the earth is right in the center. And as we're holding, we're leaning on the earth as if we can lean on the surface. And as we're leaning on it, our hearts are right on the earth, and the earth heart is right inside. And as you breathe, start to feel the beat of your own heart, the rhythm of your own heart, as best you can while you're breathing. And then feel that it's the Mother Earth, Gaia. She has her own heartbeat. And almost feel like, even if you're doing kind of in your head, but you're trying to feel it, just to feel your connection to the heartbeat of the earth. So you start to become in sync with the earth. And it's the mother energy. It's like being in the womb, and the mother's heart beats with the child's heart while the child is in the mother. And it becomes one beat, one love, one connection. And as you do this, you become compassionate for the earth, receive the compassion of the earth who invited us here to be here during this time, as she's also going through this. And it helps us all to become more enlightened. And Saint Germain's energy of the violet flame moves through the earth, around the circle of everyone in our fields. And he's the alchemist. He's the ascended master of alchemy. And in the alchemical way of being, it's not about transformation where you have to process things and it takes forever. It's about transmutation. As you place light on a shadow, it instantly shifts into the light. So feel your own love, your own light, your own compassion infused into the earth and connecting with the heart of the earth, and feel that being brought back and breathed back into you. And that connects to everyone holding hands around and etherically holding hands around the earth. It's for everyone. And together we rise like the phoenix to the highest level. So be it, and so it is. Amen, 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 amen. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be all of us. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak with you today. And know that we're going to be okay. Trust. So much love, so much compassion for everyone, for everything they've been through and are going through now, for the earth itself and all inhabitants. We ask to be able to reclaim the truth of who we are within us, to feel it, to be it, to know it, and to walk in that experience of true wholeness, deservability, and knowing that we can receive the fullness of who we are and be received. In gratitude and love. Thank you. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Huh. So, hi Ellen, how you feeling?
Well, so listen, you do incredible healing work. I mean, you just did an incredible healing work. But if you can share the magic and the special things that you're doing right now, that you created a special for this time to help people on a very deep level.
Yeah, I do the Akashic record readings. It's the Akashic records are an etheric like library of your life experiences through all time and space, all the different lifetimes you've had, and also even from other dimensions. I believe we live on many levels at the same time and whatever. So, so what I've done is I keep extending it because we're just going through so much, and I just want to be able to assist people through the work that I do. So usually I do individual work with people for an hour or an hour and a half. So I'm doing the hour price for the hour and a half amount of time. And it goes very deep. It's just sort of like this, if you felt this. My work is always about, people come to me when they're ready to make a change. And this is a time of major change on the planet and for everyone who's the inhabitants. So if it feels right and it feels, you know, like you're guided, whatever, you can connect to me on jodiserota.com, JODISEROTA.com. I think my website, there's something wrong with it right now. I have to make sure in the next few days, hopefully it'll come back on track so you can look at all the work that I'm doing. But if you want to be on my mailing list, that's usually how you would get on my mailing list. There's a part to do that there, jodiserota.com. Or right now, if it's not working, you want to be on the mailing list because I keep sending these out. You can just go on, you can call 212, this is my business number, 212-736-0999, 212-736-0999. If you really want to get in touch with me directly, it's jodi@jodiserota.com.
You're also on Facebook and you have other social media.
Yeah, I forgot. I have a few Facebooks. I have Facebook and you can get me on Jodi Serota. I think that's how you go in there for Facebook. And also, I'm going to be this weekend. I've been on a lot of these different Zoom things, and with Mark Becker, who does the New Life Expos, he's completing it this weekend. And at 3 o'clock on Saturday, I'm going to be on an ascension panel with a bunch of other people that you might know also. And then on Sunday, I can't remember which comes first. I think it's the ascension panel first. And then on Sunday at 3 o'clock, I'm on a light language panel with a bunch of friends that we've been together for a long time. So, so I'm doing different things. And if you're on my mailing list, I can tell you what I'm doing or remind you. and or on Facebook or whatever. But if you're on my mailing list, it's probably best, because sometimes I do smaller groups, and now I'm doing this on Skype usually. So I could possibly I don't know how to do the Zoom things yet, but we'll figure out the technology. But and I might be doing more stuff with Ellen at times. So we're kind of coming up with some ideas. So anyway, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in, and I'll be keeping everyone in my prayers, and just know that we're blessed. Know that we have support from in the earth, on the earth, beyond the earth. We have guides. But the key to connecting, and also our friends, family, the key to connecting is really about keeping your heart open. That's how you feel the connection to everything. Otherwise, it's partial. So, and that's the biggest thing in humans, to really learn how to keep our hearts open. And not just visually opening them, but compassion, love, forgiveness, acceptance, recognition of ourselves first and others. And to make sure to keep the balance of giving and receiving. There's a lot of people who are healers or people who support others in other work that they do. Got to take care of yourself first and then take care of everyone else, because otherwise you'll get really exhausted and it won't be in alignment. So it's important to make sure we all feel selfish, but it's actually about self. Your instrument has to be clear to do whatever it is. It doesn't have to be a healer or a reader. It could be regular jobs, or just being with your family and taking care of kids, and all sorts of things, being in relationship to someone else. So it's all good, even though it doesn't seem like it sometimes.
Magnificent. And we're all going through growing pains.
When you're a teenager and you're going through growing pains, whether it's hormonal or just physically growing, and your body, you're like awkward, so it's like an awkward stage, and we're always growing and expanding and all that, but and evolving. But this is actually really like triggering that, like I said, it's a grand initiation, triggering, knowing that, like sort of knowing we have the right stuff, that movie. You have to go through a lot of stuff to know you have the right stuff for them to go out into outer space and do this. Because otherwise, if they're not really capable of handling it for whatever reason, they would probably choose not to go. But we're not here to find out what we can't handle. We're here to find out that we have everything in us to handle this. We chose this before we came in, to be here at this particular time. So, that's a good thing.
How amazing is it that we are at a pivot point to really shift lifetime after lifetime after lifetime right now, to really do this super cleanse, this super transformation, and to, it's like when you give birth, they say it takes 9 months to mess up the body, it takes 9 months to get it back. Well, this, we're not doing the way lifetime is, as above, as below. We're doing it in an instantaneous amount of time. If you think about it, a few months to shift a number of years. So
like we've been living lifetimes where we also, even in this lifetime, we've had opportunities to recognize that there's certain things that we came here to shift. But when you're younger, you're in situations you don't even know, and we're older. It's like sometimes you just get annoyed, or whatever, or upset. You don't realize you could stop and like take inventory. And if you can, it's hard sometimes because we go through all different emotions. It's the emotional body. We're learning about the range of our emotions so that we can know that we have all these emotions, but it doesn't mean, so we can feel, but it doesn't mean we get stuck in any one particular thing, except hoping to maintain love, because love is the highest frequency.
That's right. That's where we're all going, to a beautiful, magical place of love. So just to remind everybody, fear is not a reality. The only thing that's real is for us to come into that place of love within ourselves, to find that happiness, to find that joy, no matter what's going on out there. With love, it's all shifting. It's all coming to a head. Everybody's becoming aware of the ickiness, and we're in the process of, like the earth, a deep cleanse. So have no fear. Trust that all good things are coming. And Jodi is here for you. Carla's here for you. We're all here to awaken that beautiful part of finding joy, feeling safe, and knowing that this is not a scary, terrible time of living in hell. We are through a magnificent time that we decided, God knows how long ago, to experience this, to have the most amazing life to come.
And it's also kind of like the idea of like light and dark, we're kind of, but truthfully, light and dark are of the same. But they're playing out in polarities. So we're trying to move through polarities to get to the all-inclusiveness. So we can all lift to the highest level and live together in harmony and balance. So this is about really trying to accept that, and also the more you come into a higher level of your consciousness, it's like more light, more love. The more embodying that, the more you also see the things we've kept in the dark to ourselves. And it's sort of like collectively in all the structures of how we thought we had to do things, and then things that people have been creating because of karmic patterning, sort of overcompensating and fear and all these things. So we're kind of balancing out all of these emotions right now. And it's part of what we come to Earth to experience, the emotional body in relation to the higher part of our consciousness. So if we're going into something that's not really something that's supporting you, or you're feeling out of sorts, it's usually the lower part of us that is not to negate that part, but to love that part. Love that, have compassion for the part that for whatever reasons you have that experience, so that you can lift it into a higher level and transmute it. That's how we can transmute and not have to go through processing anymore. It's happening everything is, all the energies are so high frequency, and awakening us to be in a higher frequency. It feels like things are speeding up, and we feel like we don't have enough time. And some people feel like they came here for a mission and they want to make sure they finish in time, because before they leave. And like I've had that a lot of times with my work. And you just have to like trust that everything you're going to get done here is exactly what you need. You don't have to keep rushing through it, because then it puts you into a fear, and then it puts you into survival mode. So we want to keep ourselves in that place of freedom to just be and know when the time, because the feminine energy knows that it's about being, sort of not doing, being, to be able to feel, to know what's next. And if we start to push, it's like we're not giving ourselves time to just be. And also the feminine knows that even when she doesn't know yet, the knowing will come in divine timing. So there's a higher knowing that it will come. Just wait, don't start pushing to make it happen, which you can do. And when people go into survival mode and use their will to make things happen, it becomes from your adrenaline, which is not that's like your survival tanks. It's not your full tanks. So you need to use your life force. So it's going to feel exhausting, because you're going to feel like you're going against your own grain to get to something that you don't even know how to get to or what you're getting there for. So, but it's all going to fall into place. And this is a really amazing time, even though it doesn't feel so amazing. But hopefully we're going to hold prayers together that we're all going to get through this and support each other, and everybody will be in harmony and peace through love.
And to realize, even though we're not all around the corner from each other, that you are still able to do healings remotely. So whether they're in Texas or another country, that all they have to do is call you, contact you, and set that up.
I do a lot of things in other countries as well, and there's these ways of doing Zoom or Skype, or I do things by phone as well. Usually I do all of those, and also in person, but in a way it's almost easier and quicker to do it like this, because you can just be in your own home and be relaxed and don't have to go anywhere. So it's kind of interesting how this is coming to be, so we can connect to people through many different ways. So that's a good thing. So thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I really hope and wish that we're all going to be fine. I believe we will. We just have to get through this. And for those that are passed on or passing on or not going to stay, I believe that they've made a higher conscious choice, even collectively, to make a difference. They're making a difference by those of the people as a group that are leaving. And that happens in a lot of natural disasters and things like that. And it's so sad. As humans, we don't really get it, because it's just loss. It feels like loss. But that's part of their purpose, and for them to, people are meant to be here are here, people are not, they're not. I'm not making light of that. I have some people that have passed even recently from this, but it's hard, but it's, there's a higher orchestration going on here. So that's what I believe. So it's hard to kind of just go to that, but it's not an excuse. It's just, I believe that that's really there's a bigger thing happening here. So it
Eloquently
will
put.
unfold. So what did you say? Sorry.
I said that was eloquently put. It really
Oh,
was.
thank you.
Yes, with infinite love.
So thank you for having these, all of these presentations. You were telling me earlier, you're getting people from all over the place that are really people that we wouldn't get to see,
Yes.
people we wouldn't be able to connect with. So for you doing the work that you're doing with Carla, this is amazing. This is really great. And it's, it's, I think it's really effective, and you're both doing the things that you're meant to do. So I'm grateful. Thank you for having me as part of this. So,
Thank you.
Adore and cherished you. Thank you. Go ahead, Carla.
Thank you. Thank you for being a part of this.
thanks. You're welcome. So nice crystals behind you.
Thank Jodi, I love you. I love your energy. Everybody has on, because I'm also looking at the Facebook. Many people feel very grateful for everything that you brought forward. A lot of gratitude, a lot of heartfelt love coming from everybody in the Facebook that was watching you live.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you for telling me that. It's always nice to know that people are listening even. So I appreciate it, everybody. Thank you. I'm sending you all love, and if you're interested in doing more work individually, you're welcome to call me. But if not, I'm glad to connect with you now. Thank you.
Is Max going to be coming back this year?
Yeah, Max is an 18 crystal skull. We have it planned for November. I had last year, I had to cancel, the first time in like 20 years, I had to cancel for certain things. But she's supposed to come back in November. And it was interesting. We were thinking of trying to bring her back in March. But she was worried it was going to be, she's from Texas. She was worried that it was going to be too cold and everything else. It's a good thing we didn't do it, because there's all this other stuff going on. But so far, I think it's the weekend. I'm not sure exactly, but if you're on my mailing list, I'll let you know. But I think it's the weekend of the 14th of, I think that's the date. I'm not sure. We do a group thing on whatever that date is. I think it's the second weekend in November. We do a group thing on that Saturday night, and I do individual sessions, half-an-hour sessions throughout Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, like nonstop, back to back. So it's really powerful, and that's where those languages came through me. I had no idea what I was going to look for. So when one of my clients said, check this out, I put my hands on it and languages all started. And that became a huge part of my work, because I actually speak them, sing them. I paint them, I draw them, I write them. They go into my paintings. It's become a whole different part of my work. So that was a catalyst for me to awaken. And the skulls help you to remember more of yourself, but they also connect you to the earth and also the stars, the planets, and beyond the beyond. So because they're crystals that grow in the earth, but they're connected to all these higher frequencies. So it awakens your consciousness. And some people are drawn to them, and some people are totally not drawn to them. It's like whatever you're just guided, that's how they show up.
Right.
So it's one of those things. So I guess it happens with most things. So November, but if you're on my mailing list, if you can't, I don't know, I bet something's going on with my website, but if you can't get on it, you can try next week, but, or call again, 212-736-0999. And or write to me, Jodi@jodiserota.com. But you can leave a message on that number if you want, to find out, to put your name on the list, and then your email, your name and your email we need. And we'll let you know, we'll keep you posted. And I'm still doing these readings right now, the Akashic Record readings at the discount. So if you're interested, just put your name, call or write to us or something, so that we, so we know to put you on the list, because I keep sending out new things about what that is and making for appointments. So thanks.
Awesome. Awesomeness.
Thank you.
Namaste, endless love, infinite. Hey, Vince, your background is to die for. Phenomenal. Hi, Vince, are you there?
I can hardly hear you. What'd you say?
I said you have something on your mind. We see you, and we were enjoying your exquisite imagery, and your energy just popped. So I thought maybe there's something that was popping within you that you needed to share.
I was enjoying Jodi so much, just relaxing to her, listening to her insight and the way she does things. I mean, she's really unique and I sensed her energy instantly when I saw her. So she's super powerful and a joy to listen to. And her artwork it almost speaks to you without saying a word. I don't understand all that light stuff, but it's still, you get a sense of it. And I always feel a sense of things, as I've said in the past. So I'm really, really glad that I've been here for this portion of what's going on. So thank you very much, Jodi.
She just went off.
No, she's still there.
Is she
She
really?
just shut off her picture. She shut off her camera.
I love her so much, it brings me to tears.
I shut off my camera when I'm looking in other directions or doing things. Like in the beginning, I wasn't wearing a shirt, and I said, "Nah, they don't need to see me without a shirt on." So I was just relaxing.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to close out, or do we want to close with a closing prayer?
Whatever rocks the world. Jodi did a beautiful thing around the globe that was just so.
Are you talking to me?
Well, I'm just saying. Well, what I'm saying is, Carla said.
It's an Italian thing. You talking to me?
No, excuse me.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do, Raul. So I thought I was getting off.
You can get off right now. If you wanted to do one more thing of a close, you could. But you've done a number of them already. But whatever it is, you know. Like I said, I'm just this emotional mess, feeling so connected to family that I'm so joyful. It's like this infinite joy.
Well, thank you, Vince, for what you just said. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I didn't know if I thought you were going to be talking next, so I was going off.
I was on yesterday.
Okay.
I already spoke too much.
I'll go back and listen to yours. I'm glad it's still there. So let's just close our eyes. I'll play a crystal bowl for a second. This is for the higher heart.
Yes.
Well, the only thing is when I sing with the bowl, sometimes it gets distorted in the thing. But I'm going to do just a quick thing for sacredness, remembering our sacredness. Thank you. This is the higher heart bowl. It's F sharp for the higher heart. And it's also mixed with, it also has the flower of life on there. I don't know if you can see it. But it also has the energy of Saint Germain in this. So it's for transmutation. Yes. So close your eyes. Open your hearts.
That went right through me. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Jodi, for being a part, and all of your love and all of the guides that have been with us throughout these 22 days, and all of the beautiful light language that you brought forward. And I'm getting emotional, but thank you so much. And everyone who's watching, we all send love out to each and every one of you. And just like Jodi said, as one of us transforms, we each transform together and we touch the lives of our friends and the people that are dear to us and then their friends. So thank you. Namaste. Love and peace to all.
Goodbye, everyone. Good night.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Jodi. I'm going to end this. I ended this Facebook Live, so now I just have to end. I'm a little frozen here. My little dot is frozen to click end meeting. So sorry, but okay. Okay, here we go. All right, bye.
It's amazingly fabulous.
Okay, there we go.